I'll never forget a group of high school seniors that I was working with. It was the group of leaders, the student leaders on the campus. And one of the last exercises, conversations we had was, in addition to what you've learned about yourself in terms of self-awareness, what is it that you most appreciate about yourself? And the first person to raise his hand was this young guy named John. And John, you just see him decked out with Letterman's jacket, patches everywhere, student leadership, multiple captains in multiple sports, good looking, confident, social, kind of like the all-American high school senior. And he looked really intent at me in the midst of all of his friends and said, I have to be honest, there's nothing that I appreciate or like about myself, unless I've just won a game, just got a great grade on a test, just crushed a report or a speech. Every single day, I live in this constant fear that I'm not good enough. And so I keep driving forward. And so I'm just really uncomfortable with this question. It was a chilling moment that actually opened up a bunch of his other friends to share similar things. This concept that deep down, you only feel as good enough as your latest achievement, and you keep striving, no matter what the costs are, to prove your worth, to prove that you have value, and to prove that you are deserving of whatever it is that's good in your life. What I want for my kids, and I think what every parent wants, is a sense of inner motivation and drive, accompanied with a deep sense of I am okay with myself. I appreciate and like who I am, despite my flaws. And it's in the both and of those things that you see someone that has the foundation for thriving. Kids are praised really constantly in our culture, constantly for what they do, but they're rarely encouraged to reflect on who they are and what they appreciate about themselves. And without this, they outsource validation, grades, sports, achievement, likes, follows, and research on things like self-worth and self-compassion. I'm drawing from a lot of research and reading I've done from the self-determination theory. Shows that self-appreciation actually builds resilience and motivation and is a great ingredient for mental health. If your kid can't name what they appreciate about themselves, they'll believe they have to earn their worth. And that is a road that leads to burnout, insecurity, and mental health struggles. So what can we do as parents? Everything we do and everything that we share is designed for you, parents, to have actionable tips that you can apply in conversation and in relationship with your kids now so that you can give them what they need to thrive later. First one, model it out loud. Most kids have never heard their parents say something kind about themselves. If they do hear you talk about yourself, it's, I blew it, I'm so stupid, what was I thinking? Maybe you just externalize anger and frustration at other people. But try this. You know what I really appreciate about myself? I try to listen before reacting. You know what I really appreciate about myself? I've been learning to actually be grateful for how hard I work at being really good at my job, because it enables me to sleep well at night. You know what I really appreciate about myself is when I make a mistake, I am willing and ready to apologize and own it. You don't have to make it this long speech, but little deposits that are authentic and personal will help normalize this concept of self-acceptance. You're giving them the language, the permission, and modeling it. This is just what it's like to be a human. So first, model it. Second, ask the question, and then wait. Car rides, dinner tables, quiet moments, waiting in the doctor's office. Hey, what's something that you appreciate about yourself lately? Let it hang in the air. Don't rescue the silence. If they shrug, try it again a few days later. Or maybe just go first. Something I've been thinking about for me is, and don't get hung up on their lack of response or their shallow response. It's about repetition. It's about curiosity that leads to them feeling psychologically safe to not just think about these things, but to share them with you as well. They will answer when they're ready, even if it's not today, this week, or this month. Third thing, finally, catch them in the act. Notice them when they show kindness, perseverance, creativity, things that are outside of the typical accomplishment, achievement realm. That right there, that's something worth appreciating in yourself. That right there, the way you talk to those little kids and were really kind, That is something I think you ought to be grateful for. The way you're able to spark conversation, the way you're creative, the way that you're so diligent and persistent. It's those kinds of things that I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and think, I have value and I have worth. Keep it grounded in their identity, not in their outcomes. Not, I'm so proud of how you played. I'm so proud of the grade that you got. You worked so hard, but I admire how you stuck with that team even when it got frustrating. I admire how you kept your head up even when it didn't go well. Kids can't build confidence on compliments alone. It has to come from the inside. We want the voice that we have for them, the way that we view them, to ultimately become their inner voice. So here's the challenge. Ask your kid tonight, the next time you're around them, what's one thing that you appreciate about yourself right now? And if they can't answer, that's okay. Start planting the seed. We have more tools and resources for you on the blog. We'll have an article that's linked in the show notes here to help you make this more actionable, something that you can do that's normal, not weird, not a big workshop with your kid, but just a normal part of how you interact with them. The foundation of inner acceptance, appreciating the goodness and the weaknesses about yourself, is a foundation that's going to help your kid continue to grow, continue to strive, and continue to feel okay. Less anxiety, more peace, more confidence. And that's what we want. Be back soon with another episode.